Today, I do want to speak about the situation regarding Vitor Roque and Xavi Hernandez. There were a few reports that came out earlier yesterday that explained this. According to Adria Albets, Barcelona has made their decision. They want Vitor Roque to go out on loan next season. Mateo Moreto also explained if a club comes with a 45 million euro offer for Vitor Roque, Barcelona will accept that and look for another forward with that money. If Roque leaves on loan, then they will look to bring in someone else on loan to fill in that spot. So when these pieces of news came out, the club was on fire. Even within the fan base, everybody was talking about how, why would Xavi Hernandez do this? We spent 41 million euros on Vitor Roque. Why would he go somewhere else or even resell him? It just doesn't make any sense. But then shortly after, about 5 to 6 hours later, the sporting director, Deco, who represents FC Barcelona, spoke on the Vitor Roque case, and this is what he said. It's normal. When there's no football, then there are news in the media. It's difficult. No games for 10 days. It would basically mean that Barcelona will generate a lot of news. I will not share anything on our plan here. We plan that between closed doors. So he's basically stating whatever we have said about Vitor Roque, it is false. Like the media creates these lies, these narratives, anything to disrupt Barcelona, they will say that. And Deco just basically said this whole Vitor Roque case is just fake news because there has not been any football. And here's the thing, right? I strongly believe that there is a plan for Vitor Roque. Vitor Roque is not going to be going anywhere. I have said this multiple times. He's not going to be going out on loan. When these pieces of news came out about how Vitor Roque is going to go on loan to a different club, I was saying that this is fake news. This is only being created because there is no news. And the only reason why these people want to make these fake narratives is to feed you guys. I strongly believe, and I'm going to continue to say this, Vitor Roque has a plan with Barcelona and Barcelona has a plan with Vitor Roque. Right now, he just does not understand the positional play concept, the ability to always be available for others, the ability to be the third man. All of these concepts that these Barcelona players have to grasp, it also has to be learned by Vitor Roque. Xavi and Deco understood this, and they understood that it is going to be taking some time, especially when you come from Brazil. I know that next season, he will have a better understanding on the type of football that needs to be played at FC Barcelona, and nothing more. It's just going to be taking some time. So to everybody here that just thinks that Vitor Roque is going to be going out on loan and that we have wasted 41 million euros to 61 million euros on Vitor Roque, calma, right? Calma, relax, patience. It's going to be taking some time. Vitor Roque is not going to be going anywhere. The only way I see Vitor Roque leaving on loan or for a sale would be because Barcelona need to generate financial fair play. And even with that, Vitor Roque only earns 3.5 million euros a season and for the next 6 years. So if he leaves, he's barely going to be making a dent in financial fair play. So like I've said, Vitor Roque will not be going anywhere. I know that it does make Barcelona look bad, like in terms of their image and how they represent themselves to the South Americans. Maybe in the future, some Brazilians, some Argentinians may not want to go to Barcelona because of the way that they saw Barcelona handle Vitor Roque. I understand that. But for now, it does look bad. But in the future, in the long term, everything is going to be okay. For sure, just for now and in this season, Vitor Roque needs to fight for his spot and needs to fight for some minutes. Xavi Hernandez also explained this after the match was over against Real Sociedad. And I quote, Vitor Roque was in doubt today until the last minute because yesterday he suffered a very strong blow to his ankle. He didn't even warm up. About his future, it will be seen at the end of the season. I don't want to talk now. The reason why Vitor Roque does not play is due to a question of competition for a team like Barcelona. He is very young and he has to compete with other very important players in the team. So we'll talk about Xavi's statements in just a few minutes. But look, the fact that this whole story about how Barcelona can sell Vitor Roque for 45 million euros in the summer of 2024, it is just the media feeding what you want to hear. Is to divide the fan base before a game, because all of these pieces of news came out 6 hours before the match. Like before the game even started, we weren't even talking about the game. The majority of the fan base was talking about how Xavi Hernandez hates Vitor Roque, supposedly. If you also go look at my recent YouTube video, the previous one from this one, which was the match review between Barcelona and Real Sociedad, I was talking about the game. But if you look at the comments, no one is talking about the game and how Barcelona won 3 points and how Barcelona is back into second place. Everything is being blurred regarding their performance because all they talked about was about the Vitor Roque case. If you go look at the comments, it's literally 90% about Vitor Roque and nothing more, and not about Barcelona's win. And that is exactly what the media were trying to do. They manipulated the Barcelona fan base yet again. Now many might say, no Kevin, but Xavi Hernandez is lying about Vitor because if he was injured, then why did he include him into the squad? Okay, that's fine, right? Araujo was also injured, but why was he also included in the squad? No one talks about that. The reason why Xavi Hernandez brought those two players in, Araujo and Vitor Roque, Roque is because he wants these players to be part of the squad regardless, whether they are injured or not. Why? That is because he believes that at that moment, even though Araujo and Vitor Roque are not fully fit or capable to be in the starting 11, they're capable to be in the squad, just to be there for either support or to understand what Barcelona is going through during match days. Vitor Roque was there because he should be in the squad, because he should be somebody to analyze how Barcelona approach games. Xavi Hernandez is currently trying to marinate Vitor Roque into this Barcelona culture, but then again, many want to say that Xavi Hernandez wants to loan out Vitor Roque. No, it's not. That's not the case. Vitor is here to stay. Even outside of these injuries, right? Let's talk about outside of his current fitness issues. When we do see him available and we see him 100% there and ready, how do we know that he is doing well in training? Because we are not there. How do we know that he understands the positional play concepts during training? What does Xavi see that we do not see? We have to also understand that when the agent of Vitor, who is Andre Curry, and Victor Font, when they speak about Vitor Roque because they have motives behind them. Meaning, when we speak about the agent and the agent speaks about Vitor Roque, you have to know that there are clauses for him to gain and for money for him to make. If Vitor Roque sees certain appearances or goals, the agent is going to be benefiting off of that. Why do you think the agent does not want a loan move for Vitor Roque? And if he does leave Barcelona, he wants a permanent move. Why do you think he says that? It's because he wants money. He wants dinero, right? In other words, money. He does not care about the progress that he has with FC Barcelona. If Vitor Roque leaves, he wants a permanent move because he wants funds. He wants his own personal gain. He's looking out for the best interest for himself and for the player and nothing more. He does not care about FC Barcelona, nor does he even care about Vitor Roque and his progress with FC Barcelona, right? He does not think about how can Vitor Roque maybe progress at Barcelona. Maybe it could be a loan move. This is the reason why, okay? Actually, let me backtrack. What does this remind you of? Does this act coming from Andre Curry not remind you of a previous client that we had before at Barcelona with their agent and the player? I'm not going to be calling out any names, but you guys know exactly who I'm talking about in terms of when they talk about the best interest for themselves. You guys know it's the exact same act. And this is also the reason why, right? Joan Laporta works so closely with Jorge Mendes is because Jorge Mendes does not say these things. He does not say, oh my God, why are you guys loaning out Ansu Fati to Brighton? That makes no sense. If he leaves FC Barcelona, he should go to Liverpool and go on a permanent transfer. This is my client and Ansu deserves the best. Like, no, he doesn't say stuff like that. He knows what Ansu Fati is going through and what the best progress for him should be. Jorge Mendes never looks out for his own financial gain. Curry, though, does not understand football development. He does not understand what Xavi Hernandez is trying to do with Vitor Roque. I understand what Xavi Hernandez is trying to do with Vitor Roque. And to me, it seems like he is just trying to slowly integrate Vitor Roque into the team, making him understand, because the last thing that he wants is to just force Vitor Roque in and have a horrible debut to the point where it lowers his confidence, because it's hard to play at Barcelona. Can you imagine if he had, yes, 2 or 3 good games, but then out of the 35 matches that he does play, 25 of them were really bad? That is very much possible. It has happened before when you force these players into the 11. Victor Font has motives. Like I've said, he says these things to destroy the Barcelona club within, right? Because he wants to win the elections very soon. There is motives, but the fan base does not see that, because for some reason they run with the idea of we have to take out Xavi Hernandez in whatever way. Any small little failures that he does have, we have to point that out and expand on that, right? Over exaggerate that little problem. Going back to the agent, there's a reason why he said this a couple of weeks ago. To meet all the variables, right, in order for him to get some commissions, Vitor Roque should be a starter. If he starts at Barcelona at 20 years old, his price would be 200 million euros for sure. This is basically him saying, hey, look, if we want the value of Vitor Roque to skyrocket, he needs to be a starter. If we want all variables to be met, he needs to be a starter. He needs minutes, which means that Barcelona have to pay more out of their pocket. If Vitor Roque, I don't know what this contract has. Like, I don't know what type of, like, the small details. I don't know what's in it. We have never read it. But I'm pretty sure that if Vitor Roque played X amount of games or scored X amount of goals, I'm pretty sure that Barcelona are going to have to pay the previous club of Vitor Roque, like a certain fee, because of how many variables and clauses are within this contract. There's a lot. And Barcelona do not want to do anything right now that might hurt them in financial fair play for the summer of 2024. We know how important that summer is going to be. We know the type of players that we want to bring in. And in order for us to be ambitious for that summer, we cannot allow to get disrupted through these clauses and through these variables right now and pay some fees. It just doesn't make any sense. We don't know. So in regards to Xavi, he does make mistakes. He makes errors as a coach. I have seen so many mistakes from him. It's not even funny. And I'm going to be talking about that after this season is over. Right now, no, but I will talk about the type of mistakes that Xavi has made. A lot of it does have to do with how he handled the personalities this season with Koundé, Rafinha, like very early in the first 2 or 3 months. Like, he does have errors. He does have mistakes. I just don't find any reason why we should put down Xavi in the middle of the season when we know that we have something to fight for. I don't understand that. And to also say that Xavi Hernandez hates Vitor Roque and that he favors Spanish players, then explain to me why he sent out Ansu Fati to Brighton and switched him in for Joao Felix, who's Portuguese, right? Ansu Fati was Spanish. He sent out Hector Bellerin, who's Spanish, and replaced him with Jules Koundé on the right back position. Koundé is French. Hector Bellerin is Spanish. Adama Traoré, he brought him in, who's also another Spanish player, but eventually got to Dembélé to replace him fully and 100%, who's also French. And you see how like this type of conversation is like so stupid? Like to talk about, oh yeah, Adama Traoré got out and Dembélé the Frenchman came in, so we got a Frenchman in for a Spaniard. Like it's stupid, right? And again, where is the Spanish favoritism here? Xavi Hernandez has no Spanish favoritism. It's just that people are looking for those little ideas that they can make up within their minds to make sure that Xavi Hernandez gets beaten down. And that is why I don't get. He's always blamed for whatever reason. He's always being seen as a coach that rejects talent. Again, going back to Ansu Fati. Ansu Fati was rejected by Xavi. He went to Brighton, coached by De Zerbi, and De Zerbi does not even use him. So to me, Xavi Hernandez was correct. Like De Zerbi does not even use Ansu in the 11 and does not give him any minutes. But no one gives pointers to Xavi because they don't want to make Xavi look like a genius. Abde was rejected by Xavi. At that time, everyone was like, oh my god, is Xavi insane? Why would he let go of Abde to Real Betis? Now we see Abde at Real Betis and he plays here and there and he has 1 goal in La Liga. And this is the guy that was supposed to be held as the next great left winger at Barcelona in the beginning of the season, according to the fan base. Xavi Hernandez dodged another bullet, but no one gives Xavi pointers because it's not in their agenda. They don't want to make Xavi look like a brilliant coach because again, it's not in their agenda. When you see coaches let go of certain players and they go to that other club and then they underperform, people usually say, oh my god, this coach is a genius, right? Pep Guardiola done that multiple times with Zinchenko, with Cancelo, with multiple players, and people call him a genius for letting go of those 2 players to reinforce his defense. But when Xavi does that, it's like, oh my god, this guy, he's horrible. And like everybody forgets it. They ignore it. Xavi placed out the youngest starting 11 in the Champions League quarterfinal, and people still want to say Xavi does not bet on the future because of the absence of Vitor Roque. No, it's just going to be taking some time, dude. Like that 11 that we held in the Champions League quarterfinal, we had so many youngsters. It's not even funny. You may say, no, Kevin, Spanish favoritism. No, it's called La Masia, okay? It's what makes La Masia so special. Why are you putting so much hate on the most special thing that Barcelona has, which is La Masia? Right now, Vitor Roque can play in the right wing position. He can play on the left wing. He can also play on the striker position. We have seen that in his previous club. No one talks about that. Everybody says that, oh, he's just a striker, but no, he can play in all 3 positions. No one talks about that, but the fact that he can play in all 3 positions, I'm telling you, he has a lot of competition, like what Xavi said. Lamine Yamal against Real Sociedad played 90 minutes, scored 1 goal. He was named the official man of the match, completed the most dribbles, most fouled, won the most duels, 31 out of 37 accurate passes, 11 out of 19 ground duels won. You expect for Vitor Roque to compete against that right now? Of course he can reach those numbers, like Vitor can, but not right now. Rafinha against Real Sociedad played 90 minutes, 1 goal, 22 out of 28 accurate passes, 3 out of 4 ground duels won, 5 recoveries, and do you expect Vitor Roque to compete against that? That is what I don't understand. Lewandowski, who was involved in so many attacking plays, made a pre-assist, was great in hold-up play. He was key to Barcelona unlocking the first goal, and how do you expect for Vitor Roque to compete against that? Not right now. It's just going to be taking some patience. You may also say, but Kevin, he could have gone in for one of the strikers, and instead of Ferran Torres, he should have sat down. Vitor Roque should have gone in and not Ferran Torres. Ferran, when he first came in, I really want you guys to go look at the game. When he first came in, he almost scored a goal within a span of like 10 to 15 seconds. He created 2 goal-scoring chances within a span of 5 minutes. Ferran could have scored within a span of 5 minutes if only Cancelo made that fast pass to Ferran Torres inside the box. It could have happened. You know why Ferran Torres was so quick on almost scoring? It is because he puts himself in correct positions to score. He knows, he understands positional play. He understands how to support other players. He understands where to make those runs. That is why Xavi Hernandez favors Ferran right now over Vitor. Once Vitor understands those concepts, he will be a monster. You better bet that. You better clip this. I'm telling you right now, Vitor will not leave. Vitor will eventually understand the concepts and he will be a monster. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.